Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, let's start. So, this is the summary of Cooltopia, the world. Cooltopia, a colourful world full of interesting characters, picturesque landscapes, and adventures beyond your imagination. Cooltopia is home to a variety of denizens, populating numerous settlements and safe havens within the world, and sometimes scattered in between. The world is vast, with continents separated by large bodies of water. It would require months to traverse from end to end, and that's if you didn't run into any trouble along the way. Diamond City sits at the epicenter of politics and economy in Cooltopia. In this grand capital resides the King and Queen of Cooltopia, as well as the Council of Elders. The Council are elected members from the various merchant and crafting orders from around the world. These elders help create the laws of the land to guide their citizens. Also residing within Cooltopia's cities, towns, and safe havens are the Royal Guards. These are the peacekeepers of Cooltopia. Since there is no threat of war at this time, these guards are mainly seen patrolling and helping those in need. But it would be irresponsible of me to promote Cooltopia as a wholly safe and peaceful land. Yes, its large towns and cities are well protected safe havens, but wander further afield into the wilderness, and you may find Cooltopia as a different place altogether. The Wandering Territory and the Wild Coast are two of the most dangerous areas for travellers. Few civilized citizens reside in these areas. They are home to ferocious creatures, poisonous fauna, unpredictable characters, and those who don't wish to be found. However, it's not just in these areas that an unsuspecting traveller could find themselves in hot water. There are various unexplored caves and forests dotted around the landscape that only the well-equipped should explore. Taking care when exploring has become even more important since the recent increase of fractures, portals that take you to a different time and place, usually places with evil intent. These tears in the landscape have brought with them new enemies as well as new opportunities for adventure and treasures which have not been seen for centuries. So that's the little sort of summary of Cooltopia. Hopefully you can see that there may be a couple of places you don't want to venture that might be a little bit scary, um, which is which is interesting because I think everyone just thinks of it as like one massive piece of farmland and everything's friendly. But no, cool cats are heroes and they're they're ready to protect their loved ones. Um, so yeah. Um, so from here, I think we're going to ask some questions. So P Mouse, did you want to run through the questions and then we'll sort of go through our answers?
Yeah, sure. Um, so first of all, I've got for you, what is your favourite character type in Cooltopia? So like sort of race kind of.
Okay, yeah. So like Cool Cat or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all of Klon's characters. I think those are really cool. Um, there's one in particular which I really like, which is not I should say not yet a Klon original, but it will be. um, which is the Goatman, because they're really strong, they're hardy, and they basically have a dedicated island in Cooltopia. So see if you can see that on our world map. But also they're like awesome blacksmiths, and I love like you know armor and weapons and blacksmithing and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's the Goatman. Um, what about you,
In,
females?
in fairness, they are pretty good. Um, well, I know you're going to say I'm indecisive because you you say that all the time. Um, but I'm a bit torn. So I'm torn between like cool cats because obviously they're awesome. They're the brave ones. They're the adventurers. We're all cool cats, most of us. And then like the ones that we've not seen sort of much of at all, really, the ferret folk, uh, just because they're utterly adorable. And I've got some little cat snakes in real life, so got a little soft spot for them. And also, just as a race, they're like resourceful and intelligent. I just love that.
Interestingly, I remember that Klon actually drew one of the little ferrets on a stream once, and it looks so cute.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that.
You remember
Isn't
that? Yeah.
yeah, isn't there like
That,
a little emoji of that or a little sticker or something
there
somewhere?
might be. I think there is. I think we pestered God until he put it in Discord. But yeah, I think there is. So what's next? So we've got a question here actually about what about religion or spirituality? How does that work inside Cooltopia? This is an interesting one because we actually had to talk about this at some point in CoolCats because we were working through something that was related to this. So effectively, I think the best way of thinking about it is there's symbols or deities in Cooltopia, and they tend to base themselves on like physical aspects of the world. So a really good example is like Poseidon, god of the sea. Like that's a god or a deity that's related to the sea. And then in terms of how Cool Cats kind of do any religion, if you like, is they each have their own way of worshipping or not worshipping if they choose any of the deities that exist. But yeah, I think it's very similar to kind of Norse mythology or something like that, where it's going to be related to tangible things in the world. So yeah, that's. I hope that answers that question. I've got one here actually. So P Mouse, what is your favourite food in Cooltopia?
That's a cute one. Oh god, I think I'm gonna go for the plip plop. I just love the name. I think it's a fruit. It just sounds like delicious. Although I'm slightly torn between like milkshakes because I'm guessing they're pretty epic in Cooltopia. But yeah, that's a drink, so I'll go for plip plop. What about you?
Flip flop, brilliant. Just mine's going to sound rubbish now. Although I love the jeg, and it's basically because there's like a it's like a vegetable, and the vegetable looks sad. Like what I'll do is I'll put the image up on Twitter because I don't think you could understand. Let me just put it up there now. I don't think you can understand like how a vegetable can actually be sad. But yeah, I'll I'll put it up on Twitter because it's brilliant.
I think I remember this one. Is this the like sort of sad looking orange potato?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I've posted it. I'm not great with Twitter Spaces, so I apologise. I guess there's a way I could have shared it in here, but I put it on my Twitter, so there you go. But yeah,
Look at the help.
it's like basically a sad little orange vegetable. If my memory serves me correct, I apologise if this isn't correct, but I believe Emma actually drew this. So yeah, shout out to Emma, who drew an amazing sad vegetable.
It is adorable. Right, I've got one for you now.
Okay.
Is there electricity in Cooltopia?
Well, I was going to say there is, but there isn't like electricity like we know it. It's not like there's just massive batteries and power stations that are just generating electricity. But what there is there's these power stones, and they're located near settlements, so like villages, towns, cities, and that's why they build settlements near these power stones, because they do provide like power, but the range is limited, so you won't find them driving around in cars or anything like that. But in a city, they could have lights and those sort of things. Yeah, so there is. You could think of it like electricity, but it's not. It's not like we know it. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Okay, here's one. What about this one? What place in Cooltopia would you like to visit in real life?
Oh, I've actually thought about this one
because
because I've been staring at that map for like a year. Probably not quite a year, but it feels like that long. So I'm going to go for the flower forest for sure. Because, even though I get hay fever, I think it's worth the risk because I just imagine it's so beautiful, like flowers everywhere. I know it's going to be like chock full of like the best resources, like, for cooking and alchemy, and I can just go in there and forage. Yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, flower
Wait, wait,
forest.
wait. You
I do
know it.
get to go, right?
You know it doesn't exist. You just
Oh,
said you can't wait.
yeah. What I
Right.
don't.
Okay.
Oh, well, now
I'm
I'm
not gonna
sad.
now go
Now
out
I
and
look
make
like
the
that.
flower
Now I look like a
forest.
jeg.
Now you're a sad jeg.
Yeah, I'm a jeg now. Oh, okay. Okay, what about you then?
Mine's super boring. Well, it's not boring, but mine's a little bit boring. Like I'd love to visit Sapphire Town because I just think that's the core hub, and that's like everything we know about. And I just think us kind of wandering around Sapphire Town and meeting everyone there, and maybe getting to meet Joe and Blue Cat, like that. I just love the idea of that, and it just would be really cool because that's kind of the story that we're currently telling. So I think us venturing there would just be really interesting. Um, so yeah, when you're finished in the flower forest, let's head on over to Sapphire Town.
I mean, that's a good answer because I would love to have a chat, especially to Joe.
That'd be cool. It would be
Yeah.
cool, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one for
Do you
you
think?
now. What?
Interestingly, do you think they think we're? Do you think they would think we're more weird than we would think? I'm talking to like a bird and a cat.
What?
Like like. Do you think they'd be talking to us thinking these weird sort of lanky creatures
Frogs.
are really strange?
Well, they would definitely think was weird.
Right, brilliant. Right, next question.
Moving on. Here's a little complex one for you then.
Okay.
Things get a little dark in the law and order section of the world document. Oh, that's that word again. World
Yeah.
document. Can you explain that a little?
So I think I know what this is referring to because I think the Goodnight did a Spaces that was saying like I can't remember what it was, something along the lines of what's Link doing or what's in Link's brain, something like that. And yeah, so interestingly, the world document, an important thing to remember is this is like our template or our world guide that we use internally to build content for everyone. So there might be things in there, like for example, we've got something in there that says about banishment if you do kind of crimes and stuff. That doesn't mean that we're going to be writing a story that talks about like a cat being banished, but it might mean that if someone's sneaking into the village and stealing food, you might know, oh, hold on, there might be a reason for it. So we can basically create content using this guide, and it's like feeding into to that content and giving us reasons for things. So yeah, things might seem a little dark, but it's not like we're going out being creating horrific content for everyone. Like that's not our goal. It's just giving us reasons in the background.
That's a good answer. I like it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, I got another one. This one's a little less. This is easy. Can you explain a little bit about the orders and how they help run Cooltopia?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I guess like orders. I'm trying to think like guilds, orders, factions. Like there's different words for it, and we've chosen orders. And the idea is that it's a group of experts and apprentices that have dedicated their lives to like a specific task or job. For example, I don't know, woodworking or like mining, something like that. And then basically the very best of those orders go on to form the council in Diamond City. And because they're experts, they use their knowledge to help the king and queen of Cooltopia make decisions. And those decisions are always, how can we help all of the denizens of Cooltopia? So yeah, that's kind of the orders. Most most people tend to look to the orders when they're younger as something that they can go into and progress in. Sometimes that's because their parents were in the order, or sometimes that's just because they have a natural talent, or they're just really interested in it. But yeah, that's how the orders run in Cooltopia. So actually, speaking of orders, do you have a favourite one?
I've never thought about this one. I'm gonna probably tailors, or like the weavers, I think it's called. Just because I like crafting in real life, so that really fits me. Love a bit of sewing, super relaxing. Also, I do tailoring in like every game that I've ever played. Like if I get the opportunity. I mean, I like fishing and cooking and farming as well, but I just think like yeah, tailoring for me. And also, like, obviously, you can like help kit out all the important characters in Cooltopia, which is pretty awesome. So
Oh, I
a big,
like that.
yeah, big responsibility, but also cool. So yeah.
Yeah,
What about
you
you?
actually did that. You did that
What?
little uh oh, I'm gonna forget what the name of the craft thing is. The not cross stitch. Um, what's it called with the needles? Not knitting.
The stabby.
Crochet.
What are you talking
Crochet. No, not crochet. I'm talking
about?
about the stabby one. What's the?
You mean needle felling, don't you?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, yeah. So you did that needle fet on Cool Cat, and
Yeah.
people love that. But yeah, so that's nothing to do with tailoring. I just realised. So carry on.
No, craft. No.
Um,
Come on. What about you?
oh, what favorite order?
Yeah.
Probably the. I think probably the Order of Innovation. Like they're the tinkerers, the engineers. They create cool stuff, and I love creating stuff. So I think that would be my favorite, because basically they're the order that find all these old magical artifacts. They think they're magical. They might just be modern technology for us, but they see them as magical. And then the tinkerers, like for example Ardy, tinker with these old artifacts and get them up and running, and it just creates like really cool technology for everyone to use. Which is a good example, because if Ardy wanted to get into the Order of Innovation, he probably would be able to quite easily, because he's very, very good at it.
I can 100% see you doing that as well.
me doing that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're actually providing people with clothes, and then I'm just over here wasting my time trying to get a wheel to spin.
That's how you make the good stuff, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have a question. So those questions I did see ahead of time, so I had a little bit of time to maybe think about them. These next questions are they've basically just been dropped in here, so I'm gonna try and answer these. Are there any villains or bad guys in Cooltopia? We already know about some. We know about the Shadow Wolves. They're not necessarily villains, but they might be seen as the bad guys from the Cool Cat's point of view. So we know about the Shadow Wolves, we know about the Underkin, we also know about the Calamites, and they're all on the world document. But I think if you thought about something in terms of villain or evil, it's probably the Underkin. It's like these, mixture of rat and goblin that live under the world in the caves and stuff. And you don't want to meet one. They're not particularly nice. So.
No, I'd say they're like the least easy to. Well, I'd say you probably can't reason with those.
Yeah. Let's have a chat. Yeah, so probably not. Is there a school of Cooltopian physics, or do they share the same natural laws as our world? So most of it will share the same natural laws as our world, but there is also the Grand Library in Diamond City that has a lot of information. So if you want to go learn about something, not necessarily work on a physical craft, but if you want to learn about knowledge, then you would go to the Grand Library, and that has a lot of knowledge in it. So yeah. What are some popular meals in Cooltopia? Mouse.
Oh, that is so mean.
What?
I'm gonna go for fluff stuff.
Fluff stuff? What's
Yeah,
that?
it's like delicious, like marshmallowy, milky pudding, and it's literally the best.
I love the idea that maybe the best way to cook it is on the Marshmallow Mountains.
That would be super dangerous, but we could go for that.
It could be dangerous, but would it be worth the taste?
Well, it is pretty nice.
So maybe. Okay, cool. Fluff stuff. I think they also have a lot of natural things. So like a lot of these vegetables and stuff, they boil them and put them into soups and stews and those sort of things.
Again.
You are.
Are you gonna say jeg again? Jeg stew.
I mean, yeah, jeg stew, jeg soup. It's versatile. Jeg chips, or jeg crisps, or stuff like that.
Boil them, mash them.
Brilliant. I love the idea that one of the little characters of Cooltopia is basically a hobbit, and it's doing everything with Jeg. Next question: where does the magic happen? I mean, everywhere. It depends. I guess it depends what you define as magic. If you think magic in terms of like, spells and wizardry and stuff like that, there isn't any. There isn't any real magic that anyone knows of. Question mark. Yet, yeah. So I went for question mark, and you went for yet. So, yeah. Keep your eyes open for any future magic, but it's not something people are sort of. It's not Harry Potter. Not everyone's whipping out their wand to do a spell. So, yeah.
I hope not.
No, no. What's your favourite location in Cooltopia? I mean, we kind of answered this one, I guess, with the. Well, did we? With the ones we'd want to visit. I mean, it feels like a lot of crossover, so maybe we move on to the next one. I mean, P. Miles, you answered the Flower Forest, and I've answered Sapphire Town. So, if you want to change yours, you can.
No, I'm definitely going to the Flower Forest.
Okay, cool. What bedtime stories / folklore are told to the Cool Cats kiddos? Well, I can tell you they're definitely told the story of the brave frogs that reside in Frog Swamp. That's a classic. Everyone loves that, don't they? Please.
Obviously. What about like the little Christmas story about Beta hidden in the woods?
Beta. Yeah, definitely. Winter Beta is a classic as well. Yeah, I think most of the folklore kind of comes from history, and then this is probably normal for us as well. It comes from history, and then it's just embellished. So things like the War of Magic, there's all different types of stories around. They used to fly around in these big metal machines and things like that, and everyone just assumes that they're they're made up and they're not real, but maybe stuff like that did used to exist. So yeah. What are the titles of some popular fiction books in Cooltopia? Oh, I guess we sort of answered that. I mean, Winter Beta is one of them. That's probably it for now.
It's not something we've thought about, but we definitely need to now. Get some proper titles.
A list of books would be cool. And then the last question we've got is, what music does Chugs listen to?
That's just brilliant.
I think just the classics, the top 10. Chugs loves the top 10.
He's a popular music kind of guy.
Yeah.
I can see him getting down to some drum and bass or something.
Brilliant. Yeah, getting his churn on.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. That's all the questions we have. But if anyone wants to ask a question about world building and lore, of course, because that's what we're here to talk about. If anyone has a question, feel free to request. We'll leave that for a little bit, but then if not, we'll wrap it up.
I just want to say as well, thank you for putting up with my awkwardness.
You're welcome.
I think this is literally the third time I've talked, so please be kind.
I mean, you thought the flower forest is real. I don't know what to say.
It is real.
Maybe you need to take a break from story writing.
No, it is real, and I'm not letting it go. I will go there one day.
I mean, they had it, didn't they, in NFT NYC, and we couldn't go. Sad times. Or good times for the people who got to go, I guess.
Yeah, I had massive FOMO when that was going on.
I had a quick one for you guys.
Hello.
You guys
Hello.
are so cute on stage. It's unbearable. It's so good. So are the Calamites like innately evil, or were something that like made them evil, or is like what's their how'd they get to feeling how they feel?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we might not always see bad Calamites. We might see some positive ones as well that might be happy and things like that. But I think there's a I know, but I think there may be a bigger evil at play that's causing Calamites and Underkins, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, there's like a big secret about the Calamites, isn't there?
Oh, you're just going to say it directly like that? There's like a big old secret about Calamites, and then you're going to leave it.
It's like you don't let me come up here. I'm not saying the secret. I'm just saying there is like a little secret that we haven't said yet.
Yeah, people are really going to let that go, aren't they? There's a big old secret.
It's fine. Just never let me talk again, and I'll be happy, and you'll be happy. It's fine.
There's a big old secret that you would love to know, but you're not going to get to know. Brilliant. All right, cool. I think is there any? I think that's it. I think it's just Evan had a question. So,
thank God.
Thanks for coming by, everyone. If you enjoyed it and you want us to do more of these world building streams and lore and stuff like that, then make sure to give the post some like and retweets and stuff, and then we'll do it again. Wait, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
You mean you?
No, I enjoyed it. Did you not have fun? I thought it was fun. You're allowed to not have fun, but yeah, I thought it was enjoyable.
I'm honoured to be up here with the epic Lynqoid of legend.
Oh, well, you don't have... Right, okay, brilliant. Everyone else is like, oh, wow, that sounds really nice. I know you're just making fun of me. Right.
I'm not.
Cool. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And
yes, thank you.
We'll see you on the next one.
Love you all.
Bye. We love the cats.
Yeah, we like the cats.